Mary Oliver writes, "Look, the trees are turning their own bodies into pillars of light, are giving off the rich fragrance of cinnamon and fulfillment. The long tapers of cattails are bursting and floating away over the blue shoulders of the ponds. And every pond, no matter what its name is nameless now. Every year, everything I have ever learned in my lifetime leads back to this. The fires in the black river of loss whose other side is salvation, whose meaning none of us will ever know. To live in this world, you must be able to do three things. To love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones, knowing your own life depends on it. And when the time comes, to let it go. We are here this morning because we loved Judy. You, Judy's family, have held her against your bones, knowing your own lives and her life depended on it. You have held her tight in moments of health and joy and in difficult moments of illness. And we are here now with the very sad task of letting you go. As we praise you this day, O God, we think of those whose death devastates our lives. We feel the bond that tied us together, the love that we shared, and the memories that remain with us still. We thank you for the gift of their lives. What are we, O God, that you should care for us? Our days are like a fleeting shadow, a wistful sigh, the whisper of the wind. So teach us to treasure each day of our life as a precious gift from our Creator. And to treasure all whom we love today and every day. As we gather with grief and sadness and a profound sense of loss, let us gather with gratitude. We are grateful for Judith, for her life, for her gift of words and creativity and teachable moments and deep love. We are grateful, O God. We gather with gratitude. To the living, death is a wound. Its name is grief. Its companion is loneliness. Whenever it comes, whatever its guise, there are no tears. When there are no tears, death is a wound. But death belongs to life as night belongs to day, as darkness belongs to light, as shadow belongs to substance, and the fallen leaf to the tree. Death belongs to me. It is not our purpose to live forever, it is only our purpose to live. It is of no added merit that a person lives long. It is of merit that one's life is good. In this time of grief, we turn to the voice of our sacred scripture. It brings us the ever new message of God's nearness, our kinship with the Creator in light and darkness, in joy and in sorrow, in life as in death. Esa Adonai el Harim and Ayin el Hozim. Ezrini im Adonai el Shamayim ba'aretz. It lifts my eyes to the mountains, what is the source of my help? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. God will not let your foot give way, your protector will not slumber. See, the protector of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. God is your guardian, God is your protection at your right hand. The sun will not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. God will guard you from all harm, God will guard your soul, your going and coming, now and forever. So we continue with the words of the psalmist. I turn to Psalm 90. Psalm 90 makes a contrast between God's eternality. The booklet in front of you has Psalm 23, which you will get to. Psalm 90 speaks of the tension between God's eternality and our mortality. It ends with plaintive plea, establish the work of our hands, that it may long endure. The work of our hands is literally the things we do with our hands. And it is metaphorically, symbolically, what we do with our lives, what we create and build and nurture. As we remember Judy, we remember so much she made with her hands, the work of her hands, to the physical art, to the writing, so to the family and love. So I invite you as I read the song to reflect on what is for you quintessentially Judy, the work of her hands. O God, you have been our refuge in every generation. Before the mountains came into being, before you brought forth the earth and the world, from eternity to eternity, you are God. You return us to dust. You decree return, ye mortals, for in your sight 1,000 years are as yesterday when it has passed, as a watch in the night. You engulf us in sleep. We are like grass that renews itself. At daybreak it flourishes anew. At dusk it withers and dries up. The span of our life is 80 years, and 10, or given strength, 80 years. But the best of those years have trouble and sorrow. They pass by speedily, and we are in darkness. Teach us, therefore, to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Turn to us, O God, show mercy to your servant. Satisfy us at daybreak with your steadfast love, that we may sing for joy all our days. Let your deeds be seen by your servants, your glory by their children. May your favor, O God, be upon us. Establish the work of our hands, that it may long endure. Establish the work. Turn to Psalm 23, Canto 1.
O he knows that she will say, Yankei b'magleit madam, Yankei b'magleit madam, Leman shemo, Kan yeleh begeit amavet, Lo yirara, yatai madi, shivtecha, mishantecha, emayina kamuni. Taroch lefanai, Shulchan Negitzorai, Ishan Zamashem Roshi, Kosi Revayam, Ato B'chesed Yirtifuni, Kol yemei chayai, Kol yemei chayai, V'shavti b'beit Adonai, le'olech yamim. Adonai Rohi, Lo echad Adonai Elohim, Lo
Let's join in the words of that song in English. Sing it real quick. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord. Ancient people, we are acquainted with grief and the valley of shadows. Death and sorrow are not strangers to us, but the centuries have taught us that a good name endures beyond the grave, and that there is strength in faith. With Job he said, Tom, Lord, you gave us a loved one who will not be forgotten. For all that was good in Judy's life, there was so much. We offer the deepest gratitude of our hearts. When we say Adonai Lakach has been taken away, we pray for the strength to turn our broken hearts to an altar of trust, before which we sing Hishem Adonai Lakach. Blessed be God's name now. We come to this time, to this place, with our thoughts, with our memories, with our prayers. I invite you to pause with me for silent prayer and meditation.
The words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, be acceptable to you. Adonai, my God, my rock and my redeemer. Adonai, my rock, my redeemer.
Each of us is given a number of days and years to fill as we see fit. And we fill that time, our hopes, our dreams, our passions. These become our precious memories after our lives have drawn to a close. So as we remember Judy's life, we turn first to those closest to the special story of her life. First turn to Jason.
Sorry. I don't even know why I'm crying so much because I've really been mourning my mom's loss for a long time now. I've been going to be last week. My mom should bear with me for a second. Okay, so I went through the raw stages like a long time ago. I probably finished them I finished them for sure at least 18 months ago. And then so I thought, well, like what stage am I now? And then I'm like, I don't know what stage I'm at right now. I can't remember what the exact number is. And so I'm gonna make that number. And then it occurs to me this morning. It occurs to me this morning that is for my mom, for sure. Because everybody has their own stages, and everyone will take their own time and have their own learning process, and that is acceptable. So if you guys are not at the stage that I'm at, that's okay. Okay. So my mom for sure it would be stage 17, and it would be part of a scavenger hunt, and she would have food that would go along with stage 17. And she would say something like, stage 17, smoke if you die. Now, you have to know that smoke would be written in italics. Okay? It would be written in italics, and my mom never smoked. So she would say, it would be 17, smoke if you die. Jason might be going off script. Saving off into the sunset. Your next clue will be found at a picture frame after shift off. Okay, so my family might get really upset if I go too far off script. So I did actually I wrote some stuff down here. And I'd better stick with it, or we discussed before briefly if we should all get funeral pizza famous by taking gummies. Okay. So here we go. The title of my eulogy is The Most Annoying Things About My Mom. Oh no, I forgot something important. Stage 17 is sarcasm. Okay. Okay, so there are tons of things that annoy me about my mom. She always floated around the table, serving others, never actually sat down. She always wanted to know what the preferences were in making plans. Every gift has a heartwarming card attached, often with a clever poem. And she wanted to be really annoying as a haiku. Okay. She never taught me parenting skills on how to say things like, because I told you so, don't be an idiot. I'll give you something like that. Okay. However, I would say the most annoying thing that is that everything she did, she had some sort of hidden agenda. Everything was secretly a positive learning experience or a teaching moment. A learning experience maps as a game, an art project, shredder hunt, movie watching, or chore. I grew up in a house that you could not just have a pizza party with ice cream and cake like normal kids. Okay. You had to make your own custom pizza in an old Papa Fresh pie tin. And by the way, when you did that, you were waiting for the ice cream to set up from the custom made ice cream cake that you added all the ingredients. And then if you do this, please do not add gummies. They don't freeze well. Are you okay? I'm trying hard not to monster. Okay. Oh, you know something. Love this one. I went to that. I've seen trips sometimes, and my mom turned walking to a laundromat in Whitehall, Michigan, into the fun expedition. So I just want to know how many of you guys have core memories of your childhood that your mom is talking about, ready and back. Okay? What was really annoying is how far she took the positive learning experiences. One time I had a speech issue, I know it shocks you, and I needed intensive speech therapy. So she took me out of school at National College, and she took me to Northwestern during the day. She drove me there, and she sat behind a one-way glass. with part of the students in the class and watch the student teacher work on my speech and language pathology on the other side of the one-day class. In very loud fashion, after this, she decided this is great. I should go and get my GRE, go to grad school, and have a career in speech and language pathology. So one time she made me pick a class. She wanted to take a class with family members and do some fun activity. So she made me pick a class to share the experience. And so I, of course, picked the same class with me. And then she was really annoying. She spent the next 15 years becoming a stained glass artist and built a studio in her basement. She then went on to doing the next generation after me. It was not just teaching. It was not just teaching my son about stained glass making. It was like everything with him had to be a turn of the word. Everything has to be a pun, a pun or a poem. Every rock transformed into a creature. She cannot even just take a walk on the beach like normal people. Sometimes it's nice to just stub your toe and swear on something. But now I'm up. She was always digging with her toes in the sand of life. So everything Rizzo found had to be like a Petoskey stone, ready to be polished to reveal the beauty of the encased fossil. I hope you can all appreciate how annoying this optimism can be sometimes when you're just fighting reading. Okay. So now I come to my mom's last teachable moment. Her study of the decline at the end of life. I was so very annoyed, as all I want to do now is be sad and feel bad. But it turns out that my mom's last teachable moment is not just things like pain or suffering. It's actually more about resiliency. It's about creativity and adaptability. So I could see all the teachable moments play out in resiliency, creativity, and compassion of her friends, her kids, her grandchildren, and this is her true legacy. Her vibrant life lives on. Not only will I never forget the taste of the home lesson of my pizza of my childhood, but every time I see my children speak or write or teach, I get to see a little bit of my mom. So going forward, I want all of you to know that if I personally tell a really bad pun or a joke, you should not blame me. You should be really annoyed at my very loving mom. I love you more.
Speaking for the grandchildren. So really hard.
With a mindset that an intentional person can make something beautiful from literal garbage or a garbage situation, I have a wish for my grandma's community on behalf of her 6 grandchildren. My wish is in honor of our grandmother. You take inventory of the mundane things in your life, and with a commitment to creativity and passion, explore what you can bubble, etch, sketch, paint, Mod Podge, stained glass, glitter glue, seal, pom-pom, googly eye, mash, sew, stir, prod, quack, doily, or wordsmith to make those same formerly mundane or even awful things wonderful for all. Make and do until you run out of energy. And when you're finally ready to rest, Cuddle up on a two-tushy couch with as many loved ones as possible, including dogs. Can't forget dogs. And talk about the process and take pride in your efforts. Channel your mourning into courage to create. Grandma was the least complacent person we knew, and we encourage you to follow her example and do.
Noah's reading a poem of Judy's.
Those of you who'd like to follow along may do so in the back of the memory packet. Michigan summer mornings. At 7:15, I head for my sacred venue, a walk along the beach. During the night, winds and waves at water's edge have erased yesterday's stories and laid a clean pattern to record the miracles of the new day. This morning, as I walked, a mosaic, fascinating, fresh, and full of life, presented itself beneath my feet and continued along the shore, for the fullest distance my eyes could see. With ease I recognized, recorded there, uncountable tiny triads of seabirds, gathered perhaps for a morning meeting. Clearly, there were those in the group who stopped to socialize, those who printed trails, revealed crossed paths unacknowledged, and those in warrior mode who left behind ruffled feathers dotting the sand. There were trails of individual outliers, wanderers who joined the group occasionally, without commitment to membership, as well as those who positioned themselves in the center of the crowd. There was evidence of feeding and cooperation, juxtaposed to hostility and pain. And in this record of gathering, I saw inscribed a microcosm of the world.
I was blessed to read a number of Judy's poems last night. They're all beautiful. I was struck by these words, which while she wasn't speaking about death and grief, just struck me, as I did Jim a few minutes ago, as the words that called me to start writing. In her poem, The Beach series, Judy wrote, "Fall at the beach, slap in the face without the grace of transition. The sunrise of summer evokes vivid emotion, the frustration of a child forced to accept an unchangeable truth, a royal edict. No discussion, no pleas, no bargains." She said, I absolutely those things. Here we are this morning, and as we are on our own Judy's words, the shame Allah in her name. Judy's death has hit us, indeed a slap in the face. We may have had transition of sorts, but it was not a transition full of grace. In fact, the transition had no grace, because it was instead the bitter irony of the donors that took language and speech communication from a teacher of speech. And here we are now, forced to accept an unchangeable truth, a royal edict. No discussion, no pleas, no bargains. As we are here now faced by that unchangeable truth, we gather with sadness, remembrance, a profound sense of loss, and a great sense of gratitude for Judy and her life. For her poetry and scavenger hunts, for great love of family and dedicated friendship, many lessons, as we've heard, how many teachable moments, God only knows. The innumerable words she taught to students to communicate in her classrooms and schools and beyond. Her great joy in words and delight, her gift of poetry and her poems. We miss her caring and compassion, her deep sense of righteousness, reminding us of social and personal injustices. We miss her warmth and her love, her inspiring creativity, her lessons. As we look back and recall the journey of Judy's life, we turn to her childhood in Mother'sburg, growing up with her parents, Ida, a homemaker who worked at her father's dry cleaner, and Max, a real estate lawyer, her brother Lee. We recall Judy's education, University of Illinois, National, and as we heard later, Northwestern, and she went back to school. All growing up. We recall that journey of family. Jim, I'm going to say it's 60 years because it's so close. That great love of Shiv. The day you met, you were 17 and he was 15. Your engagement in 1965 and the clock watched you, the only dog to witness and told. And your marriage in 1966. Thank goodness for that birthday gift somebody's parents forgot so you could go together and meet. You two were devoted to one another in a way that was inimitable. Judy took on your interests and shared with you throughout your 6 decades, and your happiness and comfort were foremost to her. You were devoted to her in love and life and health in these most difficult years. You know you have not left her side. Stacy, Jason, Evan, what a mother you have. Oh my gosh. The teachable moments may have been heavy-handed, but she was there looking out for you and wanting you to learn and grow. You may have fetched her as she spoke to you, but it was because she loved you. Mom modeled education and kindness, as we heard, making everything into a game or a hunt. She reminded you and perhaps your children to keep your hands and feet in when closing the car doors. For herself, in the process of words about you. Mom showed you how to care for the people you love. She made everyone else front and center. Even think we see that in her not sitting down at the table much. Your dad first, and then you, and then your spouses and your children. So we heard Mom wanted to do things like you, for example, making stained glass. How about all that homemade Play-Doh she made, and the ornaments you made for her neighbors' Christmas trees? We've heard of her incredible creativity, her beastie babies made of rocks. And as you grew up, she kept an interest in your interests and became so dear to your partners, your spouses, and their parents, growing friendships with your in-laws as well. Leah, Nora, Amanda, Michael, Isaac, and Lucy, whether you're here physically in the room or on live stream. Grandma Judy, or not Judy, along with Papa. How many moments do you have of rich memories and love and joy? How many scavenger hunts did you go on? How many memorable times with Grandma Judy and Papa making artful drafts as we heard? Her coming into your lives, whether it was your daily lives and activities here in the Chicago area or flying east for birthdays, or when you came into sail for sailing camp. And the lessons she gave you at the good moments, maybe the moments of challenge. You didn't want a life lesson that she was going to teach you. And when she traveled with you or helped you write a report, choosing the right words, Grandma Judy was there. She helped you, too, to be your most creative selves. And how she even showed her love putting your towels and pajamas in the dryer and you slept over. Something your parents were not going to match. Phyllis, Barbara, Karen, what friendships you've had over these many years. to Judy's Michigan friends too, your dedication and love. We remember too Judy, the teacher first and then the speech pathologist, the teacher too, of a different sort, whether it was at Wayne Thomas or Oakton, Evanston, or Oakton Community College in retirement, when she went from classroom teaching speech pathology to teaching ESL. She never stopped teaching. Judy was the kind of teacher you wanted, the teacher who took the lead from her students and forced herself, but sort of, as I think somebody yesterday Monday described in the failing Montessori style. She would fit in what was going on. She went to visit and to meet with a student in a classroom as a speech pathologist. She didn't insert herself. She went along with the teacher's lesson and used that to teach her student. When she was teaching at ESL, she loved learning about her students' cultures, even their recipes, appreciating them as people and their backgrounds. And then, as we've heard, there's the teaching in families and the process. You would just go out with them. You have to make applesauce. Keep the process going. We've heard about Judy's heart. Incredible stained glass windows. We see one here. Oh my gosh. We see items in rocks, in glass, in plating food, in decorating homes. Beauty she saw in Michigan and shared beyond her mind, her eyes. She captured it in so many creative ways. She was an artist with words, with poetry, with those letters we've heard about. Even with poetry, even with haiku and birthday cards. She loved language and valued language with clear, careful choices. You didn't just get a happy birthday or high note. You got detailed notes, the poetry and birthday cards that she would type and fold and cut and repaste. And add this not crazy. There's so much about Judy's life that makes us smile. Her favorite movies on repeat. How many times did you guys watch Roxanne? The teachable moments there. Well, you all said she wasn't much of a cook. You also spoke lovingly as one of her favorite dishes. Oatmeal cookies, banana bread, lasagna. And then there are those things that just were about her. How she could come in a gold stripe. How she loved backgammon and barbecue sauce. How she loved ducks and we found them all over, different kinds in the bathroom. How everything needed a poster. You couldn't put the ketchup bottle on the table. And how she was an artist too. How she always looked so together and elegant and beautiful. As we remember Judy with all of this beauty and love, we also know that these last years have been cruel. Despite the horrible challenges of illness, her family remained constant and present. And you also acknowledge your partners, Judy's caregivers. You speak for the family when also isolated got her to speak when nobody else could. You could understand her and made so much possible in these last 3 years with your loving presence. You were joined by Nixler, Mimi, and Samantha, all of you with loving presence for Judy, partnering with the family. There is for sure more to be said. You could be your all and only. I close them with words of another poet. Well, I don't know. I didn't feel like Judy would like. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote in a poem called To Laugh Often and Much. He wrote the following. To laugh often and much, to win the respect of the intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know that one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. This, too, is to have been Judy Canel. Our tradition teaches that we must honor our loved ones when we bring the words and the deeds into our own lives. Let us in the coming days live the lessons of Judy's life. and let us do so in her name. Tradition also teaches we should name our parents. Let's take it from God. As you do something or say something, then you give it up. If it's a groaning hug, if it's a teachable moment, if it's an act of love, or whatever it might be. Say, I do this, or say this, because Judy did, or she taught me this. May we do just that. May we live the enduring lessons of Judy's life. May her memory be a blessing. We say it together. Invite those who are able to please rise and sit for a while.
Amitzei menucha nechona tachat k'nfei hashchina im kiroshim teorim kezohar harakia asirim et nishmat Yehudit Miriam Bat Malkiel shehalakha le'olma Bararachami, Yasdireha Beseter Knafa, Leolani, Beitror, Mizror, Achayim, Et Nishmaitan, Adonai Unatalatan, V'tanuach B'shalom al Mishkavar. Amen.
Compassionate God, eternal Spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest in your sheltering presence to Judy, our loved one who has entered eternity. O God of mercy, let her find refuge in your eternal presence, and let her soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. God is her inheritance, may she rest in peace. And let us say, please be seated. I share with you, Dr. Forman and I share with you two powerful pieces that are very important to Jim, to Judy. The first is a poem about the score of memory, and while its words may not speak precisely to this moment of memory, it is written by Rabbi Canel, the longtime rabbi of Beth Emmet, and dear friend, Junior Judy. Use core, we remember. Remember our people who suffered and died so that we could be free and secure. May their memory be more than a distant shadow. For the dreams left unfulfilled, the lives taken too soon, we remember. Remember our brothers and sisters who sacrificed the dream of democracy and justice alive. May their courage be our inspiration and strength. For life cut short and vision unrealized, we remember. Remember the fallen of our armed services, the victims of terror and tragedy. May the darkness of their loss not obscure the light of peace. They were in love with our land and in love with life. For the agony, the tears, the mothers and the fathers, for the children who were, and for the children yet to be, we remember. Our tradition teaches that there are different kinds of healing in the body, in the spirit, and thought and nefesh. So while you may not traditionally hear a healing prayer at a funeral, we share a really beautiful prayer, a healing prayer by Cantor Jeff Clever, so for many years with Beth Emmet and the dear friend of Jim and Judy, honoring their connection and friendship, where you raised your children and sent via the miracles of technology with Jeff's love in the Boston area. So we pray for healing of spirit, for all who need healing of body and spirit, Ms. Cantor Wallman shares with us the human prayer. Adventure Jeff Walker.
Adonai, send your healing, blessing and your strength to our loved ones, also to us. Bless them now, bless them here and everywhere. Send healing for the body, send healing for the soul. Adonai, please grant them the desire of mine to thank you and to praise you as you shelter us with love the length of our days, the length of our days. In our hearts, amen. In our hearts, amen.
Thank you, Rabbi Green, and King Roman. This concludes our service here at the synagogue. Jointly visited the family plots at Shalom Park in Arlington Heights. I returned from the cemetery, the family was assured that the residents of the Canel family 344 service had place in Lincoln until 8:30 p.m. this evening. The real contributions in Judith's already made to each other choice. For those who wish to join the procession before we just outside of the city at parking lot. Flagging procession, please make sure your bright lights and hazard lights are on at all times. For measures of safety, please make sure you obtain an orange field safety sticker which can be placed on the inside portion of your vehicle, as well as a magnetic flag that can be placed on the rooftop portion of your vehicle. Please drive as close as safety permits in front of you, especially as we go through the intersections, as you want to avoid any person entering the procession. We will have a kill car leading in the back, hopefully preventing cars from entering the procession as well. The following individuals have been honored to serve as pallbearers. When I call your names, you can please rise and stand. This is Judith Canel, Judith Canel, Canel, Lance Cicero, Michael Cicero, and serving as honorary pallbearers in spirit. Not here with us in the room. Lucy, Canel, and Isaac. At this time, if everyone please rise as we swear casket, Rabbi and Cantor, and family for the shot.
Adonai,